I'm finally setting up my August journal. It was a very strange end to July, and then I got sick, and then trying to kind of recalibrate in this new season that I'm in. And I do share a lot about what I'm going through, how I'm dealing with it on Instagram and in my Becoming series email. So feel free to find out more about that below. Hello and welcome. I'm Ashley of Aligned Living Co. and founder of the Becoming Her method. At the start of every month, I print out two of these calendars and I'll include the links to download your copies every month. So make sure you join. It's free to join, and I try to give as many resources as I can. And then what I simply do is I use this to kind of cut off the edges so that it will fit in my journal. You can also use scissors. You can also use like a ruler and pull off the edges until it fits in your journal. I don't want to like show too much of my stuff, but I just wanted to show. So like I use one of this was June. I use, you can't really tell anyways, but I use one to track my workouts, and then I use one to track just stuff that's going on in life. Because at the end of the month, I do a summary of everything kind of big that happened in the month just to kind of give me a summary. And then I use these beautiful tabs here just to kind of keep track in my journal. So if you think of this, it could be like a bullet journal, if that helps for you, or whatever you want to call it. I do use it to kind of keep track of events, but I also use it to keep track of where I am in life and my business. And then looking back at things, I'll look back at it like, oh yeah, I was gonna work on this, or I was going to try something, or just checking in. Like the other day, I realized that I'm in this like lull right now, and it's kind of scary financially just because you're like, oh, I used to have this thing that, was like guaranteed money. But I prayed for this. I manifested this. I wanted this lull, one, to spend time this summer with my son, first and foremost. I had actually given notice at that one contract because I wanted time at the end of the summer, especially to spend more time with my son. And second, I needed this lull from that bigger contract to be able to sit with myself and to sit with my business and set up processes and ways of doing things so that as I grow, I'm not panicking and having to go back and set up some of these other systems once I get busy. So things like accounting and my bookkeeping, setting up a client portal. So everyone who takes any kind of service from me will get their own online portal. It's just in Google Drive. It's nothing fancy, but it's just somewhere to keep information. Um, One, so you have it at your fingertips. So if at like 10 p.m. at night you decide you want to book a tarot reading with me, you know where to find all the links for that. And I'll show how to set up your computer eventually in your Trello boards to keep track of this information for yourself as well. I just love having information at my fingertips, and I will show you ways of doing that so it's easy for you to stay on track of stuff. From there, I also print out this weekly planner. So I print out one every week, and it's a summary again. So, if someone came to visit or something big happened, like the boss is starting to lose teeth, so I'll put on there he lost his tooth, um, things like that. And then again, it's so that at the end of the month, I can kind of have an overview of all the big things because, 4 weeks later, something happened at the beginning of the month. It was, especially if it was a big deal at the time, but other things have happened in the meantime. It helps us remember things that are going on in our life, and how quickly things can change. You might do something where you're writing how you're feeling every day. If you're doing a mood tracker, you might be doing fitness tracker. You might be doing um, maybe I was working with a naturopath at the start of the year, so you might be doing some kind of like food tracking. I was doing blood sugar tracking, whatever it is. I love having one monthly that's just like your calendar and things that are going on. And then I love having a second one, a third one, however many you want, how many things you're tracking. If you want one calendar for everything you're tracking, or if you want, one that's just a tracker for everything and you're splitting the days into three to track things. So I will be finishing setting that up because I realized yesterday I finally got back on my Peloton. I'm so happy for that. I shared in my stories, I posted, show me how good it can get. I wrote that on my calendar in my office because I realized that as scared as I am, I have this. We went through so much as a family over the past like 8 years now. And as much as I dislike social media at times, there's a lot that comes up on my feed that's very beneficial. And I just had a lot of things coming up, um, that it's okay to be scared. It doesn't mean you're not ready to step forward. And I realized that as much as I prayed for the life I have now and how absolutely thrilled I am, and if nothing changed, I am so happy with this life. But it doesn't mean wanting more, wanting bigger. And I don't like just not better, just bigger, more. It doesn't mean I dislike or am unhappy with what I have. I want a bigger life for my son. I want a bigger life for my family. I want to experience more. I want to do more. And that in itself feels scary because I feel safe in this little cocoon. Um, and by not kind of stepping out of my comfort zone for the last, 5 years, things have, knock on wood, been very good. And it feels scary now too because the last few times I've stepped forward into something bigger, some very big and traumatic things happen. So there's a lot of working with my nervous system in terms of how do I take the next step? And I'm finally in this place of trust that I can handle whatever comes towards me. I can deal with whatever comes up next because I'm ready for the bigger things, and with that will also come, you know, other stuff. And so I'm ready to step forward and to kind of tackle what comes on next. As scary, like as much as my heart flutters saying that, I am ready. And yeah, so I'm happy to be on this journey, sharing what I'm doing, supporting. I do tarot readings as well as I have my free Trello training. I have one-to-one mini sessions where we kind of jumpstart you forward into your next phase. So similar to this, just someone walking beside you though. I've done this enough times. I'm kind of walking beside myself. I'm walking with spirit, walking forward. I say spirit. I also say God. I also spirit guides. Whatever you believe is yours. Um, and so I'm ready to walk forward with myself, with spirit. And so if you're ready to step forward with support, I do offer support in various ways. So a couple of my freebies is the Becoming series. So it's a weekly newsletter, as well as I have the free Trello training. I'll link all of this down below. And then I have tarot readings, which help. I will send you an email after, and again, you get your little client portal as well, kind of next steps forward. And then I have the one-to-one like mini sessions. I call them clarity sessions. We kind of jumpstart you forward on your journey with support. And then I have the mentorship, which is either a 6-week or 6-month program, walking beside you in this growth period of, you might be walking to something very specific. You might be like me, where you're stepping forward into this newer version of you and you're ready to handle whatever comes next in your life. Thank you so much for being here. If you have any topics you want me to cover, I'd love to hear about it and I'll cover them when I get a chance. You can follow me on Instagram at alignedlivingco.co. Visit my website, alignedlivingco.co, and we will see you next time. Thanks so much.